Good morning, brother King Randall.
Good
Uh,
morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's my pleasure to get to talk to you this morning on Clemson Brown reporting. And I want our family to know that we have a young man who is doing the kind of work that many of us should be doing. He's focused and he knows what the problem is that if we are to get our children to disengage from a lot of self-hatred and self-destructive things, we got to raise them that way. And it starts really it starts at the cradle because there's just so much to learn, and we have to teach them. Nobody else is going to teach them but ourselves. So when I heard this young man, I said, okay, he's dead on it. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce to the family King Randall. Um, Tell us a little bit about yourself, brother, and how did you come to focus on building a school for Black boys?
Absolutely. Well, my name is King Randall. I'm the founder of the X for Boys program in Albany, Georgia. This program I started when I was 19 years old. I'm 21 years old now. I started this program because of where I live in Albany, Georgia. We're at one point the fourth poorest city in the whole United States. And at one point we were the murder capital of the United States. Our city is not that big. We only have 77,000 people here. And that's also decreasing. But the crime rate and poverty rate are extremely high. And the household income is very low. But looking at the crime rate between for boys ages 17 through 25 was absolutely ridiculous. And considering we had no rehabilitation programs for juvenile offenders, I decided I want to start a program here in the city at 19 and to teach boys, how to be men again. So the first year of the program, I started taking young men on field trips. We went to all the different Black history museums in Montgomery. We went to Selma. We went to Birmingham. We've been all to the Black history museums in Atlanta, etc. Then I started doing automotive repair workshops. I started teaching the boys how to change oil and change brakes, alternators, water pumps, changing tires, etc. Then I started doing home repairs, started teaching boys how to paint houses inside and out. We were teaching them how to do sheetrock, ceiling fans, changing toilets, flooring, anything that we could possibly think of to teach the boys. We made it happen. So fast forward again, I started doing a summer camp. I did this summer camp out of my home. I had 20 boys come to my house every day. At this time, I didn't have a lot of money, so I had a little small dry erase board I put on my wall. And I also had a lot of little tables in my dining room. I taught in my dining room every day. And we taught these young men different language, also vocabulary. We taught them more reading skills. We taught them economics, taught them about real estate, etc. These are things that I believe the boys needed to know. And during this summer camp, I discovered that these young men were having a hard time reading. About 12 out of the 20 boys that I had couldn't read at the time. So after this summer camp, I started a book club, which will be beginning again this Tuesday. But I started a book club to teach the boys, better reading skills, teach them life skills. We also had men from around the community come and teach, and help the boys with their different life lessons, etc. And some to tell their life stories. So we started a book club, and the boys started being able to read better. They had an 86% reading comprehension rate while they were in the book club. So fast forward to 2020, COVID happened, and I kind of had to stop everything that I was doing. I wasn't able to do book club or field trips anymore because we didn't know what was going on with the virus. So I had parents still calling me and asking me, could I do things, for the young men? And I'm just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So summertime came around, and parents were asking me was I going to have a summer camp? And I said, well, if I'm going to have a summer camp, the young men have to come live with me because I don't know what's going on, with the virus, etc. So the parents agreed, and I had 7 boys come and live with me for the entire summer of 2020. They slept in my living room. I bought some little bunk beds and I put them in my living room, and we made it happen. So I was teaching them all summer long the different skilled trades, teaching them firearms training. I'm teaching them many different things during that summertime. And at this time, I hadn't been posting a lot what we had been doing on social media. And so people were telling me I should post on social media because what I was doing was special. So I started posting on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and we started gaining a lot of traction. And on Twitter, we were doing some sheetrock. I posted some pictures of that, and it kind of went like mini viral on Twitter, and people started asking us to make a GoFundMe because I'd been saying for 2 years that I wanted to open a school for boys. So we made a GoFundMe. We raised about $20,000 within the first week, and we've been raising money ever since. And now we've been able to acquire an old school building from our local school system here in the city of Albany, Georgia. And now we're planning to open this school for instruction this fall. We're opening it 50% operation, and we'll be 100% next year. We're trying to actually do boarding. So of course it'll be 50% the first year, but 100% the next year, because we have to get the necessary licensing and requirements to board the students. So that's kind of where we are now, who I am and where I come from.
All right. Now, brother, King Randall,
Yes, sir.
what is the X for?
The X simply means unknown. Our motto is "Let us make man." We're teaching boys how to be men.
Okay. Let me ask you, have you noticed any effect on the young men? I should ask you, what has been the effect of the change with the young men that has been in the program? Are they, how would you put it, more self-confident? Their proficiency scores went up and all of that. Give us an idea of what kind of impact you've had on these young men, or the program has had on the young men, which is the same thing as you in the program. I don't separate the two of you.
Yes, sir. Well, our program has a 0% recidivism rate, meaning every child that's come to our program from jail has never been back. That's a stat that I love to tout because I do receive children from the juvenile justice system. And I also started taking custody of children from the juvenile justice system. But really, it takes the parents to be able to tell you the changes that have happened with their children since they've been in the program. They are developing very fast. And a lot of the boys are developing, more manly skills. And more manly, I'll say emotions, because a lot of them are raised by only their moms or grandmas or aunties, and their whole lives they're surrounded by women. So a lot of them have a lot of characteristics that they need to change and to develop because they don't have any men in their lives. So when they're able to come around me and some of the other mentors I may have them, come into contact with, they start trying to change because most boys are going to emulate whatever man that they're around. And a lot of people don't understand that boys do a lot of innate learning, meaning they are learning things without you directly teaching them, just based off of how you walk, how you treat your family, how you talk, things that you're trying to learn. They mimic you and without them noticing it, because that's just how that works. Like even with my oldest son, he's 2 years old. And, he just mimics me, just because, he wants to wear his hat like I wear my hat. He wants to wear his keys, my keys around his neck like I do. He wants to walk like me and talk like me. But those are things, that boys do. They're learning innately. I don't have to teach them how to do these things, that some of these things they're learning just being around. So we have to understand how important, having a man around is in a child's life, especially for a young boy. So the boys are developing at a very fast rate. Their grades are going up. We have an 86% reading comprehension rate. They're learning the general contracting skills. They're learning the automotive repair skills. They're becoming proficient at it. So the children are developing very quickly. And of course, they're getting a lot of self-confidence, because for some of these children who've never been anywhere or done anything or never got an award, they get awards for learning how to, work on cars and things like that. So they're developing a sense of self-confidence because I know how to do something now. So that's the most beautiful thing that I would like to see, who I am seeing, with the boys, but I would like to see more whenever we open the school.
Thank you. Let me ask you, the young men, do they go out and try to get, because young people like to herd. They like to be with other young people their age, and they get influenced by what the other young people around them are doing.
Right.
Now, do your boys go out and influence their peers and try to bring them in? I just want the explosion from these young men. Have you noticed that they have the same kind of interest to get their peers into the program? So they expand as opposed to expanding in a gang-like situation, but they're expanding in a way that would bring them to unity and power.
Right, absolutely. The boys do their do their best to recruit. They love the program, even with the discipline, etc. They're still, telling their friends about it. Plus, everybody's, hearing about the program. So I've had a lot of young men reach out to me via social media, and are wanting to join the program, and even listening to the reasons why they want to join. Some of the young men are just like, I just want to stay out of trouble. I want to come join because I like what you're teaching. The other boys, my friend is in the program and he's telling me about all the stuff y'all are doing, or my brother's in the program, or my cousin's in the program. So a lot of them, have come just off of word of mouth because they're hearing about, the boys doing so many things, and they're like, we want to come do those things too. So we have a long waiting list of children, for the school, because a lot of boys, are wanting to come and they're wanting to join because they're wanting to get out of their conditions. I've learned that, ever since working with the children, that they don't want to be in the conditions that they're living in. They want to do something different, which is why it's so easy for them to go join a gang or go listen to the, hottest rapper, etc., because they are not in the condition that they're in. So it takes somebody that's around them that can get close to them to help them change, whether they be bad or good. So I definitely want to fill in the area fill in that gap and be the good person that they could find to help steer their lives in the right direction. So definitely recruitment is up because the boys are seeing, so much that we're doing, and also hearing from their peers as well what's going on in our program, and that's why they want to join.
Okay, I want to congratulate you on the work that you're doing, and
Thank you.
I appreciate that you have gotten the building and the school. Was the school that helped y'all get the building? How'd y'all get the building?
So we went through the local school system. I called my superintendent because we were actually looking at another building that wasn't a school, and things fell through with that. So I reached out to our school superintendent and asked him, did they have any old buildings that they weren't using anymore? And he told me that there were 3 buildings up for demolition. And so I went to tour one of them. This building is 35,000 square feet, 25 classrooms, 11, it sits on 11 acres, cafeteria, library, the whole 9 except the basketball gym. So we talked to them about, us getting this school, and we made a deal with them, and now we're just working out the logistics for the school. So that was kind of like a ram in the bush for us. But, I tell people all the time, regardless of age or regardless of who you are, where you're coming from, it doesn't hurt to ask. And the worst somebody could tell you is no. And so all we have to do is just try to make sure we get all our T's crossed and our I's dotted to make everything happen.
Okay, just 2 other things. One, I want people who are listening to us, if you would donate to Brother King Randall and his work. Darrell, do you have his app, Cash App, there so people can donate?
Yes,
to
he
him?
has all
And
my links. He has them at the bottom of the screen. I see him down there. Yes, sir.
Okay. And I want to make a commitment. I like the work you're doing. I'm going to be opening up a museum in South Carolina.
Okay, yes, sir.
And so I want to work with you, and whatever we can do, that's Tapvideo, we will definitely work with you, because I got a bunch of young folk in my family, a bunch of them. So,
Yes, sir.
hey, I just want to give you all the help that we can give you. So I want to thank you, and I want to also tell you the program that's coming up, Joshua Sarah. I would love if you would stay with us and listen to what this brother has to say regarding mathematics. Mathematics is the key. It's the language of the universe. And I think when we understand math and the dimensions of math, because that's something that came through our ancestors, and we learn how to apply it, we will be, we have a tool in our hand that we can use in every dimension of our liberation.